When I initially came into the industry, the comparisons were with my grandmother.
When you work with a veteran or when you work with senior actors, and there's such good actors, and you have watched them when you were growing up.
Sakshi, when she came, she was. I had my butterflies in my tummy.
So Netflix is back with another big show, Mai, and we have 3 actors from the show, Anant, Raima and Ankur. Welcome to IndianExpress.com. This is Sana.
Thank you.
Hi, Sana.
Hi, Sana.
Hi.
I'll start the conversation by giving the mic to you guys and telling us more about the character and the show.
Farooq's character was a tricky character for me to personally play because he's so layered. To have that performance with that kind of layering was a little tricky for me personally, because there's a certain method of acting which I also resort to, but this was a little different because considering Atul being on board, so he personally had a lot of interactive sessions with me. There was no such, of course there was a workshop, but besides that, I had a lot of chit chats with him, late in the night from 10 p.m. the night till 1 p.m. then 1 a.m. in the morning. He would just talk about life and character about Farooq, and eventually merge the two, and it became so tactile for me to believe in Farooq, and which is when the script came to me then later on. I was very happy because what in essence subconsciously Atul did was to believe in this rather than just going in the script and trying to make do with the character. So this was mine from the onset. So personally, yes, Farooq is I cannot see Farooq away from me. I hope I don't suffer from multiple personality disorders later. But yes, having said that, Farooq was a tricky character for me to play, but at the same time, too proud to play the Farooq. Yes.
Yes, Raima.
So of course my character's name is Neelam and I play the antagonist. So she's the only woman in a man's world, and she knows how to handle situations, control situations, very well aware of herself, where she is. She's come up a long way. Of course, everybody has their history and backstory and all of that. So where she is today is, I think, is in a position of control, power. So yeah, it was different for me because I've not done a role like this before. So when they told me that this is the role that I'm going to play, and I was like, wow, someone else, sees me in another light. So it was very challenging for me to, be able to do this too. Finally, I'm playing a badass. So it was very exciting for me.
So I play the character of Prashant, and I remember giving the audition for this, and I really, gave a very, very carefree audition. And I didn't realize that this was so important. And once I realized it was so important, then I was, for the other rounds of auditions, I was in pressure. But so it was a very funny way to get Prashant. But when I read the script, and when Atul sir, he has done with every character, when he's talked to me and when he told me about the character, and then we went to the workshops. So for me, the most interesting thing was that in stories what happens is that sometimes it's not important what it is about, it is how you are telling that story. And I think the way it was written, the way Atul sir wanted it, the way every character was approached, that was so fascinating that it was really, I've had the best experience till now on set and working on this. So yeah, so this is
Raima, initially or earlier, maybe around 10 years past, we would have seen only young girls kind of playing leads. Here it's you, of course, Sakshi is there. What do you have to say about the changes, the trend that we are seeing right now, where a woman after a certain point can also be playing the lead characters?
I think it's thanks to these OTT platforms that women are coming to the forefront and they're getting a variety of roles. Now it doesn't matter whether you're a star, you're not a star. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. I think what matters now is content. And I think thanks to the OTT platforms, we are getting a chance to, do different kind of things. And because there's no restriction, there's no censorship as such, and the shows don't work because you're a star or you're a male or a female. I think the show works if it's well written. So I think it's a help to all of us, not only actors, I think everyone.
and I think that the overall perception is also changing a lot of society. So you also see this in cinema, and and women are,
A lot of
yeah,
women in cinema, like Piku and Pink and
many like this. So I think that the overall the perception of the society is also changing, and cinema and these creative mediums are also helping to really enhance that perception that yes, it can be a story of anybody. So it's not necessary that male hi hona chahiye ya female hi hona chahiye. It can be anybody. So it is good. It is good. Yeah.
Another change that we are seeing is that how characters are now more real, more grey. Be it your character or yours, we know that somewhere they are good person also, but they are doing bad things. So what do you have to say about that changes where characters are now more of the grey shade rather than just black and white?
I think that's an exciting thing to be welcoming. I think I'm very excited about the fact that like we are able to portray our grayer sides as opposed to only showing the goody sides. So I mean, the darker side needs to be revealed at some point in time, and because that's also something the audience will connect to. I mean, it's enough of seeing only the good side of Raima, good side of Anant, good side of me, or whatever. But at the end of the day, what is relatable is also in a relationship is like you see the darker side of the person so that you can relate, these are two sides of the same coin. So it makes it more exciting.
Raima, all your performances have always been appreciated, but we still see very less of you on screen. What do you have to say? Why is there so lack of good roles for you when it comes to the Hindi film industry? And do Bengali actors, as regional actors, are still looked at a certain glare differently?
Yeah, but hopefully, I don't know, but hopefully this will change that. And you'll see me more in Hindi.
But has there been a lack of good roles, or you kind of kept
I always
it slow?
choose the best of what I get. So maybe if I'm not the type who'll just do everything and everything I get. So maybe I haven't got what I have really been excited about or anything. So but I am actively also simultaneously working in the Bengali film industry. So I think that keeps me busy. So when something really great comes here, then I do it. So if I didn't have that support, I probably would see me in everything. But luckily I have that support. So I don't have to do each and everything, and I choose the best of what I get, and hopefully this will change it.
Anand, for you also, one of the scenes that I got to see, it was very intense, where you and your sidekick kind of harass Sakshi's character. What has been your experience, and in doing something like that, what goes in your mind as an actor?
When you work with a veteran or when you work with senior actors, and they are such good actors, and you have watched them when you were growing up. So whenever such kind of an actor is there, it is bound that you have to really take care of a lot of other things. But I think the best part is that at that point of time, what I do personally is that if I have any such kind of a scene with any senior actor, I go and first I seek the permission, and I पहले ही apologize कर देता हूँ मैं कि ma'am, I'm going to do this, or sir, I'm and they are gracious enough. And with Sakshi ma'am, though, it was so easy because she's so what should I say, because she's so welcoming and she's so calm and composed, and so she made it very easy. And then the best thing is that just think about your character and not too much about here and there.
Raima, for you, since we're talking about Mai, you always had this, you were under the shadow of a popular actor being your mother, but it also comes with a great thing because she always must have the best advices for you. Tell us something about your equation with her, and how did you kind of make your own identity apart from her?
So basically, yes, my mother's my biggest critic, and of course my grandmother. So when I initially came into the industry, the comparisons were with my grandmother. Oh, she's Suchitra Sen's granddaughter and she has to perform this way. There's a lot more expectation in my first film, and they wanted me to be Suchitra Sen in the first film. So when I first came in, it was very, very difficult to break out of that. And of course, my mother's also a very big star. She's known for her, glamorous image and this and that. And then I chose a film like Godmother to be my first. So it was tough initially, but I think after Chokir Bali, I think it was a game changer for me. It changed everything. So now it's like, now when people compare me to my grandmother and mother, it's like a compliment. But earlier, of course, it was like terrifying because I was just like 17 or 18 when I did my first film.
What is the best advice that she's given you?
See, they don't interfere in my decision making. I don't tell them what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. I don't even read the script to them. We don't talk about it. But of course, when they see the final, thing on screen, then my mother comes and she, gives me her inputs. And even my father's my biggest critic. Funnily enough, he's not related to the industry, but he knows everything, and he knows us so well. So they tell us when they watch.
Anant, firstly, tell me who was more fun working with, Raima or Ria?
This is a tricky one. I think with Ria it was a different chemistry and a different role, a different character. Here she's the boss, so I have to approach it very differently. So in that sense, yes, it was different too, because you approach it differently. But I think both of them are equally fun. Equal fun to be.
Very
both of them.
diplomatic.
No, it's not diplomatic. You actually, what you have to do is that you have to spend a
But actually, we may have like different on-screen images, Ria and me, but in reality, we both are exactly the same. So we both.
So that is why I'm saying that you
are
have
the
to
same.
spend a party with them. You have to really be in a party with them, and then you will
We
realize.
gang up on all our co-actors,
Yes.
and we gang up. So
So if you
he's
want
right.
if you want something, a trivia kind of, both of them like to rag the co-actor. Yeah, so both of them do a very good ragging of the co-actors. So
And Ankur, I saw your Instagram also. You mentioned Raima and Sakshi as your best colleagues ever. How was it working with these two women, and were there any apprehensions given Sakshi's image and the kind of experience that she brings along?
So the icebreaker for me with Raima was we did a scene together at Atul's workshop, and Anshay and Atul had come and we did a scene together. So that's when we met. So it was an icebreaking for me. And honestly, I had not seen Raima's much of her work except for Honeymoon Travels and one or two movies here and there. So that was good for me, so that like she was not overwhelming in that sense. But Sakshi, of course, yes. Sakshi, when she came, she was, I had my butterflies in my tummy. But she made it so easy for me and so natural. And she's such a down-to-earth person. So I felt accepted at the onset. So that's how I approached my role, and she made it even more comfortable. And at times she would encourage us to do it in a certain way. I mean, knowing how well versed she is with the medium, so she really helped me out in most of the places.